Seattle Connected, the show that connects you with entrepreneurs, business people, movers and shakers in our community, letting you know who they are first before they become household names, which we know they soon will be. Today's guest is, let me see, I guess you would say a visionary, entrepreneur, someone for the people, by the people. But this person has a passion for connecting like-minded people on a path of positivity. Yes, it's all about the embracing of people of color and strengthening our communities, like the professional that is JeLisa.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for having me.
How was the intro?
It was great.
All right, good,
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Get the intro right. Yes. Man, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. I've been looking forward to doing this interview, like all my interviews. And people at home, you can check out past interviews on Seattle Connected YouTube page. New episodes every Friday, 6 p.m. Anyway, JeLisa, so I'm glad you can make it. So let's dive right in. What are we waiting for?
Let's
What
do
are we waiting
it.
for? So are you born and raised Washingtonian or?
No.
No.
Like many people probably here, I had a family member in the military. And so I moved around quite a bit and just have been, like, Washington was one of the last stops for us. So I've been here since then, which was back in the late 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you call this home now?
Sure.
Why you say it like that?
My family's actually from East Texas. So
Okay.
I think that feels more like home for me because
Wow.
all my family is there. But there are aspects of the city, obviously, because I've been working here and living here, went to school here for, it's been a long time. So it's starting to feel more like home.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't call it home. That's terrible. Really?
I mean, it's a complicated answer to give or question just because my family, you know what I mean? Like all my relatives don't live here. So they're like, I don't have that here.
Okay.
So I think a part of me and Nee putting the podcast together was a way, at least for me, to build that kind of community so that it can feel that way. Yeah. So that's why I say it's starting to feel that way.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And shout out to Nee. So we can hop into it. So let's talk about your podcast. You know, I like connecting with people who have shows as well and just seeing what's out there because I think it's not really about like competition or anything like that. It's just like if you're watching TV, there's so many different shows for different type of moods that you might be in, or you might want to, you know what, today I'm feeling like this, or let me share this with my friend. This was really interesting or entertaining or, you know, both. So let's talk about your podcast.
Okay.
And shout out to Nee.
Yeah.
And so how did this come about? So what is the official name?
The Conscious Cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Follow if you're not already.
Yes.
Subscribe, like, share,
yes.
all the things.
Come on, The Conscious Cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Nee and I met. We both love fashion. We were working in fashion with a local retailer here, and we met there. Quickly made a bond over shared interests that we had, like traveling. We went on a lot of trips together, and on those trips, inevitably, because we both love to talk and have a lot of thoughts about things, that we realized, there's kind of like a gap in the industry as far as addressing things that we're passionate about. And we kind of realized that we were reaching the proverbial glass ceiling in our careers and didn't really have the mentors that we wanted, didn't really have options for career paths that we wanted.
Right.
And so we wanted to talk about that. And then that idea kind of floated around a little bit of opening with podcasts, and the pandemic happened, and just seeing a lot of the distress and issues with, the Black Lives Matter movement and all the protests and things that were happening. We felt like there's no better time than right now to address a lot of these issues that we would talk about amongst ourselves with the bigger community, I guess you could say, because we felt like we can't be the only ones that feel this way and are having these issues in our careers, and think consciously about ways to solve a lot of these problems.
So who came up with the name? Was it you, or was it a collaborative idea, or?
It was collaborative, and
Okay.
we went through quite a few names before we landed on that one. It took a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the one that stuck. And, Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the response been like since you started the podcast, from beginning when you were like, okay, we're kind of getting our feet wet, to now? What's been the overall response? Like, what's been the reception that you've received, whether good, bad, indifferent? Yeah.
I think we did one episode, kind of like a pilot, and just shared it out with our friends, and it was trash. The sound quality was horrible. We were our ideas were all over the place, but everyone liked it. As far as, the people that we sent it to. But when we listened to it back, we're like, okay, the sound's got to be better. We've got to get an actual editor. And then I think once we fine-tuned our conversations, like, we kind of stuck to a one idea per guest, and didn't ramble on in our conversation, and got a professional editor. I think we felt more confident in that, and I think that has helped with our guests feeling like we listen, to what they say, and the conversation feels really concise. And overall, the feedback has been positive, both from the guests and the people that listen consistently to our episodes. So it's been good.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah. So far, right? I think it'll only get better as long as you continue to say, okay, let's see what works, what doesn't, what areas we can improve on. But that's cool. The conscious cut. Yes. That says it right there. So you have something to live up to, man, because someone's listening. They're like, yo, if this is the conscious cut, like, I'm expecting a certain level of quality and awareness with each episode. So you've raised the bar on yourself.
I mean, we only talk about things that we would normally be talking about.
Right, I got you.
So
yeah. That's what's up.
The pressure.
Yeah, the pressure. Absolutely. So what's one of the, I guess you would say, pet peeves or things that just, I'll say, piss you off about, women of color and people in this industry, as far as like podcasting and just being out there? Like, what's one of your pet peeves that you've experienced and you're like, I can't stand it when people think this or say that, or we're just trying to do a good show, or they're like this, and just gets to me?
Honestly, I don't have any off the top of my head. I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess maybe the editing process is pretty intense. I don't know if people that listen to podcasts realize how much work goes in post-production, I guess you could say. So maybe that part. Yeah, we try to keep our episodes to be about 30 minutes just because we know people's attention spans.
Yes, I always I always tell people that. I say, I could easily do a show that's 2 hours, no problem. But I know people's attention span, including mine, is hard to just sit and really focus on 2 hours of anything. I mean, for me, I'm the kind of person, I really have to be interested in a movie for me to sit that long and really focus. Like TV shows, I can do it if it's a show that I really like. What I like to do is I like to wait a couple episodes, like if it's something that is week to week. So I always like to wait, right? I like to wait till they're like 3 episodes in or something, 4. And then if it's good, all right, I'm ready for the second one. I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready for the third.
Yeah.
And then like when the season's almost coming to an end, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait so I can watch the last 2 or 3 episodes and not be like, all right, I'm on the second to last episode. Damn, now I gotta wait 7 days before I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
that's something else. Yeah. But I agree. Like, you have to think about people's attention span and the content. Like, are we gonna have 30 minutes of quality, content, or are we just gonna be rambling, or,
Yeah, I think our conversations are way longer than 30 minutes. Yeah, but so that's the hard part
Right.
about trying to condense things down so that people don't feel like, oh, this is too long and I don't want to
Yeah.
listen for this long. But all the conversations, they're great conversations.
Right.
But yeah, we just try to keep it to the 30 minutes. So I think that's maybe something that I would hope for people to kind of pay more attention to.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work in the post.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. JeLisa, you mentioned that you guys both have a love for travel, right?
And
What's
fashion.
and fashion. Yes, I
Yeah.
got that. But traveling, like, have you traveled and done any podcasts outside of Washington, like on a trip?
No, our focus is to just uplift and amplify the people that are doing work here in not just Washington, but the whole Pacific Northwest region.
Yeah.
So we haven't recorded any podcasts outside
Okay.
of the state or region. Yeah, we just try to look for people that are based here because I guess just from our own podcast listening and just kind of the fashion landscape,
Right.
there aren't a lot of people that are uplifted here in that in like that side of the industry, and so we felt like that was kind of missing from podcasts.
Yeah. You have any travel plans coming up, or are you just kind of busy working?
It depends. Like we were saying earlier, I'm working on the doctorate, so depending on where I get into school,
Wait a
I
minute.
might be
You're
I
working
might
on
be
the what?
traveling. Doctorate.
What? Don't say it all humble and all
A
timid.
PhD.
What? PhD in what field?
Fashion.
Fashion. Come on now.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Ebony Fashion Week fashion show?
I did not. No.
I was working the black carpet there.
Nice.
You got to check out the pictures. It's
Okay.
dope.
I'll
Yeah,
look at it.
shout out to Devon Williams and Ebony Fashion Week team, everybody who was there. My baby cousin Sierra,
Very cool.
Real Deal Fashions. And speaking of travel, my good friend, Miss Nikki, Queen of the Skies. You got to check that episode out if you haven't.
Okay.
She's dope. She's a travel guide and she shows people how to travel without breaking the bank. Yes.
Like that.
So she'll give you all the ins and outs and what time of year is best, how much you can expect to spend, things that you can do that's cool. But if it's just you, you can kind of splurge, all that kind of stuff. She travels and she created her own page for that and she has a business now. So, shout out to
Right,
Nikki.
Miss
But
Nikki.
yeah, man, the doctorate in fashion.
Uh-huh.
So are you looking to be a designer?
A teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Professor.
Professor.
Coming to a college near you.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Yes, throw it out in the universe. It's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Mhm.
Nice. When did your love of fashion start? Is that something that's always been in you?
Music is my first love. If we break it all the way down, yeah, I grew up in a household where music was like everything.
Yeah.
My dad has a ton of records.
Oh,
Grew up
man,
listening
that's where it
to-
started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I played the piano, like
Okay.
classical piano, took lessons for a long time. So I really wanted to work in the music industry, but it wasn't like a quick route,
Mhm.
once I graduated from school. So I just decided to kind of pivot to fashion, but it's all related and interconnected. So, I've always loved dressing nice. That's also another thing, having a family member in the military,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
certain standards with like the way
Mhm.
you dress. And so I grew up in an environment where that was like a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, fashion's always been kind of like an undercurrent in my life.
That's what's up,
Yeah.
man. I like that. And I think fashion plays a lot into someone's personality, their identity. You know what I mean? Because you can take two people and tell them to go to this same event, but both of them will come up with totally different styles
Yeah.
and totally different things that might fit them, but not me, and so on and so forth. Like, I had a guest on here talking about she's not a fan of wearing heels, but she has heels.
Mhm.
But she likes the what?
How does that work?
Well, she'll wear heels if needed, if
Mhm.
for the event or whatever.
Okay.
But that's not her go-to.
Mm.
So it's like some people, if you have to dress up and wear a suit, you'll wear a suit, but you're not the kind of person wearing a suit to the grocery store. And some people are like that, but I'm not, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I guess. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat right now.
Okay.
As far as the conscious cut goes in episodes, what's your favorite? No. Oh, no. See, I saw that look on your face. All right. I'm not going to say favorite. Because I'm sure you love all the episodes. Yes. How I clean that up. What would you say is, just name off a few of your most memorable episodes?
Oh, even that's a hard
Just name a
question.
few. Because I know, and I'm going to throw it out there now, I know you don't have time because there's so many great episodes because they're all great. I'm saying this for you, but if you could just name off a few that, you know, people could check out or say, oh, let me check that out. I want to see what that's about.
Okay, well, I'll frame it as whatever's coming to mind at the moment.
There you go.
They're all
Yes.
awesome. I would say the first episode for sure is a must listen, especially if you're new to the concept of sustainability as it's being framed nowadays, and finding it maybe difficult or challenging to find your path, whether it's you're looking to build a career in that sector, or whether you're just trying to incorporate more sustainable ways of living, you know, in your lifestyle. I think it's a really good episode to listen to because the guest, Kimmy Klassen, studied it, but then she also had kind of like a moment of realization where her work was not aligned with her values and trying to navigate how to make it more aligned.
Yeah.
So she talks a lot about what worked for her, and how she is able to live a more free lifestyle now. So I think that's a good one to listen to. Let's see. I think, I'm so horrible. I don't remember episode like numbers.
No, you don't have to remember the number. Just,
okay.
Yeah.
The episode with Dustin Weingartner of Arvin Goods is a really good episode to listen to. He's been in the field in fashion for a minute, and so he's a wealth of knowledge. He's also really into sports. So if you're into sports, maybe that's a good episode to listen to. He did some partnerships with a basketball player, so he talks a little bit about that and try to how do you unite those two worlds together. Let's see. The episode that I just recorded with Sharon Nairi Williams is an awesome episode. I don't know if you've met her before, familiar with her work. She is amazing. She's a storyteller. And so she spoke a lot about how to get out of the funk. I personally, since I just finished grad school, I had to write a thesis and it took a minute to get in the flow of things. And so she talked a little bit about how do you break that stuckness feeling, whether it's, we talked about sustainability and just kind of like writing to your authentic stories mostly, but it could be applied to any sort of writing. So she gave some really good advice and shared some personal stories around that. And yeah, we'll start with just those three because I could just keep going.
Yeah.
On and on.
On and on and on. So I like that. So you're not only talking about fashion, but and I'm thinking most of the episodes you might tie in fashion into other topics, or?
So the way that we kind of started was I'm more of the like fashion as in regards to sustainability. That's been my focus, both in the educational and like career side. So I kind of bring the fashion element, and then Nee is really into conscious like lifestyle.
That's dope.
So we kind of like bring those two ideas together. Yeah. So we don't just talk about fashion. It's just anything that touches living more consciously.
Well, I knew that. I've heard some episodes. I just wanted to throw it out to the people.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Man, staying busy, working on a doctorate. It's amazing. It's amazing. What's something that you didn't know going into this that now you know that you would give advice to someone else looking to start their own podcast? Maybe something that you were like, I didn't think about this. Because when you create your own platform, it's pretty much all on you. You know, whoever creates it, it's on them. So like we were saying with the post-production, a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into after the episode is done. It's like painting, you know, you spend more time with the prep work before you actually paint the room.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
I like that. I do what I can. But yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. So whether it's that or something else, what's one thing you didn't know going into this, and then now you know, and you would say, look, if you're going to start your own podcast, I would recommend this. Even if it's just advice or something a family member told you or friends or...
Aside from the post-production, this is something that Nia and I have talked a lot about, is getting like the crickets when you reach out to people and you don't.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, I love your work. I really want to talk to you. I think this is really be good for the community. And then you just don't hear anything back from that person.
Yeah.
Like being able to deal with that, I think just kind of like adjust yourself for not maybe either getting a no.
Yeah.
Or no, it's not even no, because sometimes we get no's, and that's fine because it's at least an answer.
Yes.
Maybe it's no, not right now because I'm too busy or whatever it is. Yeah. So not even that, just not hearing back at all.
Okay.
So just being prepared that could be a possibility.
Yeah. And not taking it personal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be like if you applied for a job and then you heard, thank you for your interest in our company, but right now we're looking at other applicants, versus never getting a response. You're like, well, do they like me? Are they about to call me? Or they, yes, just that fear of the unknown, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's what's up. The conscious cut. Yeah. Can you please do me a favor, JeLisa, before we go? Is there anything else you want to say?
I know, that was fast. That's it.
No, we've been talking. Well, this is the thing. We've been talking. And like I said, we can keep going and going and going. And then we wouldn't finish. And then people would be like, yo, how long is this?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying wrap it up. I'm just saying I don't want to just talk to be talking. But, I want to ask you, this is going to be good. I want to ask you, have you guys thought about doing a live episode, live streamed, the whole 9? Because I know you're about to start your next season, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be dope. Have you thought about doing live, or you like to kind of record and then do the post-production and everything? Because live is good, but I think if you're doing a whole show, it's more than just going on your Instagram live for 2 minutes and you can cut it off when you want.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you guys have thought about?
Yeah, we have so many ideas, and that's one of them. We'd love to do something like that. So yes, and so many more things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. So what do you have coming up on your agenda, your calendar? Do you have any events or other shows you're looking to do, or you just kind of working on that doctorate?
Personally, yes. I'll be working on the doctorate. As far as the podcast, we're just planning out the season 4 and taking it one day at a time.
One day at a time. Yeah. I like that. Well, JeLisa, before we go, can you let the people at home know how they can reach you, how they can check out the Conscious Cut and everything involving the Conscious Cut, and buy some merch, right?
Yes, of course. Please, holiday gifts. If you're celebrating this season, we have some t-shirts, fair trade made. Please feel free to check those out and make a purchase. All of the money will go back into our podcast so that we can put amazing conversations out. And you can follow us on social media at The Conscious Cut. We are on Instagram and X. I was going to say Twitter, but I think it's called X now. And you can see our website also at www.theconsciouscut.com. And we're streaming on every podcast streaming service. So feel free to look us up and follow along.
And even if you don't celebrate the holidays, you can still purchase something as a birthday gift.
That is right.
Or just a gift for yourself.
That is right.
Self-love is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take time to, smell the flowers and pat yourself on the back sometime.
Agreed.
Well, JeLisa, shout out to you and me.
Yes.
And thank you for the work that you're doing in this industry. And I know we're going to be working together on something coming up soon.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to be dope. A nice Conscious Cut, Seattle Connected collaboration.
Let's do it.
But yeah, thank you for your work. And thanks for everything you're bringing to the table. And you have to come back when you get that doctorate.
Yes.
Deal.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Like I always say, it's important to take care of others, but please make sure you take time to take care of yourself. Until next time, stay connected. Peace.